Yekachoba.
And this is today's style.
Children's clothing is generally held to the same standards as adult clothing when it comes to quality and trends. The demand for children's clothing to be unique and creative is something we'll be exploring today. But first, let's check in with some parents to see how they're helping their kids shape a sense of style. Children's fashion, whether it is ready-made or specifically designed, is a vibrant playground of fun colors and trends. As the parent of an emerging fashionista, you know how important it is to keep your kids stylish for any occasion.
For me, I have 3 boys and 1 girl, okay? And so when I go to shop, I bear in mind they have church clothes, outing clothes, party clothes, picnic clothes, and then house clothes. The occasions while we're shopping, the places they're going to wear it to. Everybody has his own size, and so it doesn't matter, even if you're going to wear it for one day, I don't like oversized clothes. I love cuteness, so for everything they're going to wear, they need to be very cute in it. And then colors, I'm very particular about colors. I love them wearing things that will make them sharp and look good in it.
Being a father of 2, I have a girl and I have a boy. I think when it comes to styling or when it comes to dressing, it has to, talk about your appeal, the way you feel, you understand, and the way you want people to see you. So I think I kind of inculcate that as an habit, not just for myself alone, but for people around me. Now, when talking about my kids, which I have direct control over, for now, at least before they have their own personal styling, I think it's really, really good to reflect me in them a certain way, but the watchword is look decent, and very much appealing, because they are kids, nothing to exposing more, be cautious of their sexuality and all of that, so people don't perceive them in another light which you're not supposed to. So dress for them appropriate and make them look good and a bit chic.
Individualism and personality is a major factor.
Growing up, I love fashion so much, and after me already, especially my little girl, I don't tell her what to wear. Sometimes she just go inside, dress herself. At least she tried to copy me to some extent. But if I need to create a style for them, I meet my tailor. And sometimes I even try to have a tailor for them. The same tailor can make styles for us, especially when we are doing Anko Ashwebi.
Technically, I would say I don't really influence their style. What I do is I pick a particular gown or jean or top and I tell them, which do you want to wear? And they say, this is the one they want. That is the one they want. I make them comfortable. I make sure they are comfortable. First things first. Make sure they are comfortable in what they wear. I don't necessarily have to tie them down or make them bound and tell them, wear this, wear that, wear that. Once they are comfortable in it, we're good to go. And what do you have? Earrings on, shades on, wristwatches on, nice cool haircut, nice hairdo, and we're good to go.
With good guidance, children will gravitate toward a fashion sense that will bring pride and joy to their parents while encouraging them to find their signature style. Clothes for Kids is a separate lane in fashion design that allows designers so many options to show off their creativity when keeping the young ones as trendy and fashionable as the grown-ups. Now, taking us down that lane, we'll be spending some time today with children's fashion brand Saint Clementina, spearheaded by the creative director Clementina Okozi Odi. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
It's a really cute story how you got into designing for children. I think it starts off with some costumes. So if you just take us through that story.
Okay. There's this lovely costume I made for my nieces, and they were about age 3 and age 4. My sister wanted them to be outstanding, and every school have their career day for every section. So for this particular outfit, she wanted one of the child to be a chef, and she wanted the other one to be a police. Normally, you can easily get doctor costume, lawyer costume off any shop, but getting a police costume and a chef costume is not just an easy one. So I decided to make for them. And I was working at the time. I'll come back from work and I'll still have to sew. I had this butterfly tabletop machine I was sewing with. And I made the costume and they wore it to school. And my sister came back and she was telling me that parents they were all wild. And everybody kept asking her, who made it, who made it? And she told me she gave a couple of parents my contacts if I don't mind. That was how it all started.
Odi's creative interest sprouted roots in her childhood when she showed a willful spirit in redesigning her own clothes. This artistic eye is one that she has carried into her brand, as evidenced by the bold choices she makes in her design. So you were interested in design even at a young age. It started out when you were a little kid, right?
I would say St. Clementine was actually born out of a hobby. My mother had a machine at the time in the house. And even as a child, growing up, I got beaten for this because each time I have an outfit, she buys me dresses, I always alter them. I want to do something, I want to make it my own way, make it my own style. Sometimes it comes out really nice and I get commended for it, but there are a couple of times that my mother would say, why do you have to do it like that? And I'll get some strokes of the cane. But looking back now, I would say, yes, it's what I enjoy doing. So it's not as if it's a difficult one. When you enjoy doing something, you just find that. And that's how the business idea came in, and that's how I started.
At what point did you decide that fashion design is something that you wanted to do full-time?
In 2015, I was working at the time at the bank, and I was getting lots of pressure for... It was just very hectic at that time. And I still come back and I still find that no matter how tired I am, I still want to sew.
Yeah, because that's where your passion is.
Yes, and that's just my comfort place. In my room, I had the machine in my bedroom. So I would still make outfits for my nieces, my nephew. They went to school every Friday. My sister still come back and tell me, parents are asking for your number. Won't you make for them? There's this my sister's friend that would always come and make for my child. And on the second thought, I'm like, why don't I do this as a business? I quit my job, I registered my company, and in my bedroom, that's how I started.
And so just tell us a bit about what business has been like since going to it full-time and any major events that have happened in your career now as a children's fashion designer.
Okay, so far the growth has been very encouraging. The business has been very encouraging as well. And recently I got a platform where I was able to come and showcase my wear on the kids fashion runway show. And the growth has been alarming and business has been good, I must say.
The inaugural runway showcase for St. Clementina was equally adorable and breathtaking in its creativity. The showcase made a major impact on all in attendance.
It was my first show, and I found that even the morning of the fashion event, because all my clothes, I made them myself. I was still designing and I was still sewing, trying to put last minute pieces together, bringing my kids model, teaching them what to do. I was nervous, but the show came out really nice. The kids they were all amazing, they were happy, smiles on their face, their parents were glad, and I was happy at the end of the day.
Yeah. And it was an amazing reception, I'm sure that you got, because your pieces are just outstanding.
Thank you.
Working as a team of one, I mean, there's so much that you have to do just to manage your brand. So what are the challenging parts and also what are the fun parts of designing for kids?
For me, the fun part of it is having to play with different colors. You go to the market, you get lovely fabrics, you're thinking in your head, beautiful design and beautiful pieces to come out with. And the challenging parts could be working alone. You do the accounting yourself. you work late nights, you make sure you are on time with your deliveries. Those are actually very challenging, but it's fun because it's what I enjoy doing. So.
And you talked about, when you go to the market and you're excited about all the colorful fabrics that you're going to pick. And I have a feeling that those are the fabrics that you're using for girls' clothing. Because when it comes to girls' clothing, there's so much more flexibility in, the things that you can get away with as opposed to when it comes to designing for boys. So what do you do to kind of level that playing field so the boys can, try and be as outstanding as the girls?
When it comes to designing for boys, you have to bring the child along. You have to make the child, first and foremost, make the child like the style you're coming up with. Make the child like the fabric, let the fabric be as comfortable as possible, and make the style very trendy, and the child will like it as well.
And then just describe for me the process of designing for girls. Like tell me all the fun parts that go into it, all the little details.
Okay, sourcing for the fabric could be interesting. Beautiful colors to pick from. And then the style as well. By the time you make the dresses, the detailing, putting of the pearls, the roses, by the time you're done with the dress is, just looking at the dress, you just imagine the dress in the child and like, wow. And the little girl sees it, and some even on fitting, they don't want to take it off because they just see it and they are just in love with it.
And the other trend I noticed when it comes to kids' clothing, you can either have, the parents want a style that is basically a miniature version of a grown-up style, or, they want you to make something that is strictly for kids. When it comes to those two, what is it like in either side, and do you have a particular style that you move toward?
It's fun when you're being given the fabric and the mother is telling you, make anything at your discretion. Then when they come up with a mini style, I have this and I want you to make this as well. It could be a little bit taxing because most times fabrics for adults might not be as comfortable on the skin as fabric for children. So when the mom is bringing a fabric, probably the fabric could be hard and you're trying to explain to the mom, but they are my customers, so I have to make them happy, and it's okay. I have to still deliver and give them what they want.
So how is your brand making it fresh and exciting for parents to want to dress their kids in Made in Nigeria wears?
Wearing Made in Nigeria wears is very, very affordable. You don't have to break the bank to dress your kids really cute and smart. So I would say promoting Made in Nigeria wear has come to stay. You don't have to look out for a very expensive fabric or very expensive detailing on the dress. You could just make it really very simple for the style, the design, and it's very affordable.
Because what's important is that the quality is there, and then when it comes to your work, we don't have to question the quality. We've seen the detail that goes into it. Saint Clementina is making a very persuasive case in favor of patronizing Made in Nigeria brands. Nigerian fashion designers are very conversant with the socio-cultural landscape and quite adept at delivering the trendy styles parents love to kid their children in.
On that part of it, personally, I would say, children, they grow really, really very fast. So you could you could make an outfit for a child, and in less than 6 months, the child has outgrown it. So if you're really buying foreign clothes, expensive clothes, you find that you're spending so much just to dress up your children. But when you buy Made in Nigeria that is very affordable, you can buy as much as you can, and your child is stylish and your child is cute.
It's nice to know that you don't have to break the bank to keep your kids on trend. Because, when us grown-ups, we like to stay ahead of, what's trending right now, what's in season. We don't want the kids to be dated. So how do you incorporate trends into when you're designing for kids?
You pay attention to what's trendy, the style, the color. In recent times, you find that most colors that are trendy, you have the onion pink, which is for girls. Then you have the emerald green, which are for boys. When you make those outfits and your child wears it, it won't be as if your child is out of fashion or outdated per se. So you pay attention to those very detailed, pay attention to trendy styles also, and yes, look.
And what kind of style?
It's also.
The boys always keep it casual. They find a way to keep casual trending all the time.
They could really be look as casual as it could be, but it make them really look very smart as well.
Thank you for that. It was lovely having you on the program. Stay with us. We'll be right back with more of what's trending in